Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Women's Advanced Bible class. It's the 11th of November 2021. And what we'll be dealing with later on is we'll be listening to a video, and then we're going to break it down according to what's being said. It's dealing with women and spirituality. So we'll deal with that later on. But for those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel, and we deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. And the Tanakh is the Old Testament, the Holy Scriptures, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses at Mount Sinai by the Lord of Hosts. And with that being said, tonight and every Thursday night, we come together with our Hebrew Israelite women to discuss their roles and their responsibilities in Israelite culture, and we rightly divide the scriptures line upon line without any emotions, and we let the dots fall where they must in order that we can reclaim our heritage. And we're seeking the truth, and that's it. There's no side talking, no strong arming, we're connecting dots and building a strong Hebrew Israelite foundation. That's the whole purpose of these Thursday night classes with the Hebrew Israelite women. No hidden agenda, none of that. So if that's what you're looking for, then you're welcome. So with that being said, I want to say shalom to everyone, and we're going to do our little normal routine, which is we're going to do the moment of silence, prayer, and then we're going to have someone read a Psalms. Then we're going to go into our current events. Okay? So with that being said, this moment of silence is for our Creator, Most High, and His Redeemer, Israel, the Savior, the Lord of Hosts, and all that they're doing right now to bring about our turn our captivity and turn us back to our homeland. Okay. O Lord, righteousness and uprightness belongeth unto thee. Therefore we come before thee at this hour, seeking thy face, and looking for righteousness and uprightness, that we may walk before thee as thy servants David, Solomon, Samuel, Hezekiah did, and that we may walk before thee in truth and in righteousness and in rightness of heart. Give unto us, O Lord, an understanding heart, that we may discern between good and bad, for we know that you possess the power to do so. We desire to walk after thee, O Lord, and to keep your commandments and your testimony and your statutes with all our heart and with all our soul, to perform the words of the covenant that was written down by your prophets. O Lord, allow thy face to shine upon thy people. Hear our plea, hear and do, O Lord. Hide not thy face from us, for we need you so very much at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay?
Hallelujah.
So with that being said, we're gonna get somebody to read a psalm if they want to read it. And then we'll go into the current events. Maybe I got a song.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I chose Psalm 19.
Okay.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Clean, cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Lord, my strength and my redeemer.
Okay. So, any comments on that? Anybody got any comments? Anything that stick out in that song? Song 19?
I'm gonna say I love the way it's like a praise. It's like, these are the things of the Lord and they're good for us, to follow these. It's it's like he's praising, like he's a witness to all that's good about the Lord and he's just praising him.
Right. Well, we know this is a song of David. And David was he said when he was young, he made errors with the Most High, but when he became old, he knew not to go to the left or to the right. He knew how to go straight down the middle with the Most High. And we see this right here in this song. He even figured it out, what it takes to interact with the Lord and how to please Him. Okay. Anybody else?
Shalom.
Okay.
Verse 9. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. He's righteous, and he's a God of judgment. And I mean, it's whether it's the heathen or it's us.
Right.
He's righteous in all his ways.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. He keep asking us, and when, like I said, when we finally get the understanding of what the scripture is really trying to convey to us as Israelites, we see he keep asking that question over and over through the scriptures, asking the prophets and kings, "Am I not righteous?" So so you keep asking them, "In your dealings with me, am I not righteous?" And they only got one answer. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Okay, so I'm looking at 14. It says, "Let the words of my mouth," this is over time, dealing with the Most High, because when you get to a certain point with Him, like I said, in spirit and in truth, you get emotional. So it says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer." So you learn that certain things that happen, and then certain things you pray about, and then you see that he manifested and that he straightened it all out, and then you become more and more respectful of him, more and more uh, uh, confident in him, and then your words that come out of your mouth and your meditation is more in tune with him in your heart. Oh, the more you get, like David was saying, the older he got, the more experiences he had with him. Then his words from his mouth was more sincere, more faithful, and he had more understanding. So your dealings with him become uh, emotional. That's what he's looking for. He says a man or a woman with a contrite spirit.
Yes, he won't turn away.
Right. Okay. So everybody good with that? that was a good song right there. Psalms 19. Okay. I'm gonna say Shalom, Andre. Okay. Uh, so anybody had any current events?
I wanted to do an current event and also tie that in sort of with an update on the missing Black girls here in the United States.
Okay.
Um, Last time we talked about Chicago and Ohio being an area where Black girls were missing, coming up missing at a rapid pace. But we can also include New York and New Jersey in that, where the girls are ages 15 through 19 that
Okay.
are missing at a alarming rate. Um, they have one girl recently that came up missing there in New York. She went to the deli, and what happened, she dropped, I think, her mom's debit card or credit card. So she went back to kind of trace her steps, and she never returned back home after that. So the DA took on that case, and I think they said they have an idea of who is behind a lot of this. But we know that melanin is expensive. It is
Right.
more than gold, worth more than gold
Right.
per gram.
Right.
So, right, with that being said, even here in Louisiana, the numbers are rising with the Black girls missing. I shared a post yesterday on my page with the girl missing from Alexandria, Pineville area, which is about 45 minutes from here. Um, she was at the mall and she just never returned home. But they are saying that these girls are runaways or something like that. But then
Right.
when it comes to the white girls coming up missing, they want to label it as missing white women syndrome.
Right.
Yes. So we just
Okay.
have to stay alert and look out for each other when we're out and about, and just try not to be out at night by yourself. And HBO will be airing a special on the 23rd and 24th. It's a four-part documentary which will be called Black and Missing. So
Right.
that will be November the 23rd. They're going to show the first two parts, and then November the 24th will be the second two parts. And I think it's from 8 to 10 Eastern Time.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to add to that for maybe that people that's listening to come across this. You got women and you got daughters, or the Israelite man, he had a daughter, godchild, whatever. Game is changed, and his melanin is worth more than gold now. People want the melanin, but not only do they want the melanin, they want all our organs. And then with this rise in homosexuality, with these gay men, they want to change their sex. So guess what? Now it's a high demand for women's sex organs. They're looking for that too. So, like I was saying before, you understanding what melanin is. Melanin is what makes us who we are, make our skin the complexion that it is, and all that it's a system within a system that's in our system, in our bodies that connect us to the universe. Everybody don't have that, so
Right.
they looking for, they looking for that, and you walking around with a $5-6 million body and don't even know.
Right. And if you all get a chance, watch this video on YouTube. It's called Melanin Harvesting Black Children So White People Can Live Longer. It's on
Right,
YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Right. They part body parts can they can use our body parts, but we can't use their body parts.
Right. Right.
They can use our organs, but we can't use theirs because you know, yeah.
And that sort of made me think about when they go to Africa and they adopt these young black children, these Hollywood stars, you
Right.
know. Yeah, that's what
Exactly.
I thought about when I was watching that YouTube video.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna cost. It costs now. You know, you can't. It's no longer. It's no longer time to be ignorant. I mean,
Right.
even if you 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, you know, you got to do your research. You got to start doing what you have to do, and that's another reason where the parent coming in. You know,
Yes.
especially if you call yourself awakening, you gotta clue your children into that. Let them know about those kind of things. I mean, just gotta tell them, and then if you have to, go to the internet with them and search it out. Give them a jump start.
Right.
Hmm. Okay. Anybody else got anything on that? Okay, I got some current events too. Okay, this kind of go along with what was just said. Can you see that?
Yes.
It says the U.S. Ain't this something? The U.S. issues terror advisories amid heightened threat across the country. Let's see what they're talking about. So it says Department of Homeland Security (DHS) Secretary Mayorkas has issued a terror advisory amid the heightened threat of environment across the United States. The United States continues to face a diverse and challenging threat environment as we approach several religious holidays and associated mass gatherings that in the past have served as potential targets for acts of violence. That the advisory stated through the reminder of 2021 into 2022 domestic violence extremists, including racial and ethnical motivated violent extremists and anti-government, anti-authority violent extremists will continue to pose a significant threat to our homeland. The advisory continues. Says, however, the advisory added that the DHS is not aware of imminent and credible threats to a specific location in the United States. Is there something? Any comments on that? Okay, got another one. Uh, I keep on keeping you informed on this one. You know, sort of like the going back to Africa thing. Uh, so this, can you see that?
Yes.
So this right here is about the asteroid I told you about, the tsunami and the water event that's on the money. It said NASA is tracking a 1,000 foot tall asteroid that's headed toward Earth. Okay, says NASA scientists have issued a warning about a potential hazardous asteroid (PHA) that will fly closer to Earth in mid-December. Yeah, mid-December, tied right in with everything else. The asteroid is larger than 90% of asteroids, according to the daily record, but still smaller than some of the larger reported asteroids. Thankfully, the asteroid won't come close enough to our planet to do any damage. Near passes like these happen somewhat frequently, but the term near is relatively relative when you're talking about the infinite vastness of outer space. Okay, it says the massive hazardous asteroid is coming close to Earth. NASA predicts that the massive asteroid will pass by the Earth on December 11th, just a month and a few days from now. The asteroid has been classified at 4660 near us, and NASA does consider it very hazardous. The organization says that the asteroid is almost 3 times the size of a football pitch, roughly the size of the Eiffel Tower. While it could be hazardous if it hits the Earth, NASA says the asteroid will fly by the planet at a distance of roughly 3.9 million kilometers. That distance is 10 times greater than the average between the Earth and the Moon. So it shouldn't cause any issues on our planet in the past. In the past, scientists have considered missions of two asteroids, but have never gone through them. Potentially hazardous asteroids are un- uncommon, though. Back in September, reports revealed a massive asteroid that is roughly 1,120 feet wide will pass by the Earth in 2029 at around 19,000 miles away. That will make it one of the closest encounters we've ever had with an asteroid. Much like the 4660 Neros, though, the asteroid shouldn't cause any impact possibilities for another 100 years. Okay, so that's like I said before, it's like the little boy crying wolf. So when it do happen, you can't say that they haven't been saying over and over again asteroids are coming toward Earth. That's how they operate. Any comments on that? Okay, let's see what else I got. Okay, okay, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and let Cynthia do her thing with the women's health, and then I got some need to know information. Let me talk about
Shalom, everyone.
it.
Have
Okay.
you ever heard the saying, a mind is a terrible thing to waste? Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about stress and what it does to our mind. Research has found that stress can produce a wide range of negative effects on the brain, ranging from contributing to mental illness to actually shrinking the volume of the brain. Stress kills brain cells. Researchers discovered that a single socially stressed event could kill new neurons in the brain's hippocampus. The hippocampus region of the brain is heavily associated with memory, emotion, and our learning. While stress does not appear to influence the formation of new neurons, it does impact whether or not those cells survive. Different kinds of stress affects the brain in different ways. Recent stressful events, such as a job loss or car accident, affect emotional awareness. Traumatic events, such as a death of a loved one, a serious illness, have a greater impact on mood centers. Ways to alleviate stress: exercise regularly. Exercise has been shown to release endorphins, natural substances that help you feel better and maintain a positive attitude. Relax more and spend time with the people that you love and those that make you happy and make you laugh. Dismiss what is triggering your stress, whether it is a situation that you are in or even people that you need to disconnect from. Realize that it is okay to say no. As women, we tend to put others' needs before our own. Set realistic goals and expectations and be mindful of the things you cannot control. There are many other ways to relieve stress. However, I have discovered that the most important way to alleviate stress is to pray and focus on the Lord of hosts. A lot of times I just close my eyes, I lift my arms facing to the east, and I ask Him to simply allow me to feel His presence. And feeling His presence gives me comfort and a peace like no other. Because when you really think about it, He's all that really matters. Isaiah 26:3. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee.
Okay, yeah, that was good. And like you were saying, he come to realize that uh, he is all that matters. And once you come to that realization, and especially with having the right, the truth of who he really is, who our Redeemer really is, it becomes major. And like that,
Yes.
it also becomes emotional too. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just saying yes.
Right. Okay. Anybody else have any comments on that?
Yes, stress is not good for you. It processes, speeds up the aging process. So stress is not good for you at all. Um, like you, I agree with what you said. As women, we tend to put others before ourselves, and we tend to take care of other people before we take care of ourselves. So we just have to be very mindful of that, who we share that with, and make sure that we're getting the same in return.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm a.
Brother Leonard, I would like to read a little something that I put together concerning the daughters of Zion.
Okay.
Um, I hope that, you know, these words are inspiring. Some people may not disagree with it, but the true Hebrew Israelite, you know, woman, she will. So, the title of this is The Truth About the Daughters of Zion. Daughters of Zion, the truth is, we are above all women of the earth. They may think that we are Muslim because we wear a head covering, excuse me, and keep the dietary laws, a Seventh day Adventist for keeping the Sabbath, a Jehovah Witness because we don't celebrate birthdays or any pagan holidays. The daughters of Zion do not belong to any religion or cult. The daughters of Zion are not a mixed multitude. But we were the queens chained beside the kings as the ships scattered us about the earth. We were auctioned on the blocks and scattered even further. Deuteronomy 28. Israel shall be scattered. Verses 64 through 68. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. No other woman has suffered like the daughters of Zion. So stop calling the Gentile and Neanderthal women by our name. We are not the women of the New Testament. We are Hebrew Israelites. We are the women of the Old Testament, like Abigail, Rachel, and Sarah. Daughters of Zion, the truth is, we are above all women of the earth. Zephaniah 3 and 14. Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That was encouraging. For anybody that hear that or listen to it, because yeah, it's time to refocus. Like I
Yes,
said,
it is.
we have Israelite women trying to be like other women when the whole time they're the lead.
Yes, we are.
Instead of they don't realize that. Yeah.
Yes.
Any other comments on that? Anybody else have any comments?
I love it. I enjoyed listening to it.
Okay. Yeah. That was good. Okay.
Thank
I
you.
agree. That was very beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, we've been like I said, everything that comes up, I'm trying to it's nothing like hearing something, and getting the feel for it. So we have been dealing with the cryptocurrency thing. I'm just gonna play this, and I'll tell you what the name of the video is. It's Bitcoins, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. What's driving the craze?
This is a lie we've been told all our lives, but accept it or not, our life depends on it. War, poverty, revolution, they all hinge on economics, which itself rests on one key concept.
It's a heads up. That's what it is.
Money. The ultimate catalyst for the worst and the best of human endeavor. Like it or not, money defines our social status. It also compromises our morals sometimes. Some people spend their lives chasing these rectangular pieces of paper. Some are willing to fight, even kill for it. But are we headed towards the end of money as we know it?
Yeah.
Will we have to burn our rupees, dollars, and euros? Transform every single penny we have into digital binaries, or should I say, to cryptocurrency? Is it really the new goal, the future of money, or is it gambling, a recipe for financial disaster? If these are questions you've been asking yourselves, I have a story to share. Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. What the internet did for information, digital currency is doing for money. It is revolutionizing transactions and eliminating banking. Not a week goes by when cryptocurrencies do not dominate the news. There are record-breaking price surges every other day. Your colleagues won't stop talking about it. Your friends want you to invest. What do? You weigh the pros and cons. Understand where you're putting your money, and that's where the problem lies. Most of us do not understand money and its handling. It's a life skill we were not taught in school, beyond the basic computing. Now, if money changes form, the first thing you try to do is understand it. And that's what we'll do today. And if you're worried that we are going to get too technical, do not. It's all plain English. Let's start with understanding three basic concepts: Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency. What do they mean? Here are some quick definitions. First, Bitcoin. It is the name of the best known cryptocurrency. Like the euro is the name of one type of currency, Bitcoin is digital and decentralized. It exists electronically. It's a computer code only. And I'll explain in a bit. For now, the second definition, cryptocurrency. It is a medium of exchange for Bitcoin, just as notes and coins are for rupees and dollars. Crypto means data encryption. It basically ensures the security of transactions. Now, you may have heard about your messages being encrypted. It means they're secure. It's the same for crypto. It's encrypted data. But unlike debit and credit cards, cryptocurrency has no physical counterpart. It's the only form it exists in. The third definition is blockchain. It is the technology that enables the existence of cryptocurrencies. Think of it like a computer file that stores data. But this is a file across a vast network of computers, and it's not exclusive to Bitcoin and crypto. Blockchain has many, many uses. This is just one of them. So simply put, this is everything we don't understand about money combined with everything we don't understand about technology. Now, don't lose your head if you do not get it, because most people don't. And surveys have shown this. Only 1 out of 10 people understand how cryptocurrencies work. And 1 in 3 cryptocurrency investors themselves know little to nothing about it. Take Bitcoin, for instance. No one even knows who created it. It has been in circulation since 2009, but the identity of its creator or creators remains a mystery to this day. Over the years, many people have claimed to be or have been called Nakamoto, but there's still no clarity. Whether it's one person or a group of people, no one really knows.
That I have nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with developing. I was just an engineer doing something else.
What Nakamoto did, though, was solve a potential flaw in digital banking: double spending. Now, what's that? Let me explain through an example. If a person buys a sandwich worth $10, for instance, they cannot spend that same $10 bill anywhere else. But when the same amount is paid digitally, some people can manipulate systems and spend the same $10 more than once. And that, in simple words, is double spending. To stop this from happening, you have banks and credit card companies acting as middlemen. So they vouch for the transactions that you make, and they prove that you've already paid for something. At the same time, they take their own cut of the transactions you make. Enter Bitcoin. It solves both these fiddly problems. Like I said, it is decentralized, meaning there is no third party controlling it. Instead, it is regulated by its own community of users, and all of them record all of their transactions at the same time. Any attempts to fool the Bitcoin community will ideally get noticed, and the payment will get rejected. No single user or government or bank or credit card company can force a fee on your payment or control its flow. Plus, Bitcoin is said to be secure from the effects of currency debasement and inflation. Does sound perfect, doesn't it? Well, it isn't.
Okay. So, any comments? Okay, so like I was saying before, this is it's a major, really, to tell you the truth, it's major. So that's been coming up. So I'm just putting some stuff in the airways to get some people on the right track. So the name of this video, if you want to go watch it, is Bitcoins, Cryptocurrency, and Blockchain, and What's Driving the Craze. So what I want to read a couple of verses to show you where Bitcoin in the scriptures is. You know, so when you let it ferment or you let it do what you want to do. So I'm in Genesis, the Abraham prophecy. So she just said that the dollar, what's going to happen when the dollar collapses? See, the only thing that's going to save everything is digital currency, which is cryptocurrency. So we know the dollar going to collapse. And we see the digital currency already here. So it says, in the Lord of hosts talking to Abraham, and he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. So when he judges this nation right here, in no way the dollar gonna stay afloat. Dollar gonna go down. But she just told you the only thing gonna save it, the whole global currency is gonna be Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So right here, he says, also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Afterwards shall they come out with great substance. What you think they gonna come out with? 15, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. We already see two things already happening. Is we already leaving. The exit's already started, and we already see Israelites getting rich off of this cryptocurrency. They just ain't talking about it.
Right.
Hope you know. So
How?
you can let that ride, or you can let it roll off like a water on a duck back. But you know, you gotta act. You gotta act, because the dollar ain't gonna be in the play when this thing go down, because they, that's what they keep talking about the great reset. The dollar's no longer needed. It came to a point where they didn't need the pound no more. For years, the pound ran everything. Great Britain ran everything, but it came to a time the powers that be didn't want to deal with the pound no more. They wanted to bring the dollar in. We're at that point again.
Right.
Any comment?
Yes, I was just going to say, I was reading today that Miami has a Bitcoin, which is called Miami Coin.
Okay.
And you guys can read up on that because I think a lot of cities are going to follow suit to this. And I just want to read just a little bit of this. Mayor Francis said that we're going to be the first city in America to give a Bitcoin yield as a dividend directly to its residents. We're going to create digital wallets for our residents, and we're going to give them Bitcoin directly from the yield of Miami Coin. So we can expect other cities to follow suit with that.
Right.
That's a good article. If you guys get a chance, read up on that. That's major.
Right. Yes. And the guy that told you already that the jab is a system that they put inside of you. Well, Bitcoin, the dollar ain't gonna be able to deal with that, but the Bitcoin, which is digital, can deal with it.
Right.
So we see is like I said, it ain't like this serpent. He came in the garden for one reason. He wanted a lineage. So he came in the garden when it was time for him to do what he had to do. He ain't walk off. We see Cain and all his descendants here. So he's not gonna all of a sudden, after all he's done, just all of a sudden say time out and give up. He's gonna implement all the things he's done. He's gonna implement it.
Right.
So you got to know that. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna open it up for a little Q&A. Anybody have any questions or comments from previous videos or something they came across while they was studying or watching the video we want to bring up, and we can try to address it. And then we're gonna go into the lesson, which is a video. It's the Israelite Nation. It's women and spirituality. It's an interview with some Israelite women, and we're just gonna bounce off what they're saying, right in the body.
I just have a question. In the book of Adam and Eve, chapter 74, which is page 108,
Okay.
when it talks about Eve giving birth, it says that in verse 5 that she gave birth to her firstborn son, with him a daughter. So in the book of Adam and Eve, it was like she gave birth to a son and a daughter first instead of two sons. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a prime example. I'm telling you about the Israelite, the Edomite. So it's the same thing with the Egyptian. So Cain came up. I just spoke of that. Cain is not Adam's son, and so if you don't know that, I mean, go to the website and read, and you got some lessons on that, on what happened. So serpent came in the garden. Cain is his descendant. He's a serpent seed. So Cain, when it's time to make offerings, like we said, we was reading Psalm 19, that the spirit that he put in Adam is gonna want to please the Most High, gonna want to do the right thing. So Abel brought the best of his flock to make his offering, his first offering. Cain, because of who he was, he put the good stuff aside for himself and brought he brought damaged vegetation to the Most High, damaged stuff. So he didn't allow him to make the offering. He turned him away. So he sent Cain away from him. Well, we know heaven, Lord of hosts, we know what the Lord of hosts is. He's coming back and forth from heaven. It's a place. And the truth and knowledge and all that is in that place. So these angels are dealing with this man, Adam, and Adam's descendants, but he's not dealing with Cain. The Egyptian came from the angels coming down sleeping with women. That's how you get the Egyptian, Nazarene. So they not dealing with heaven. So they looking at stuff and they jumping off of it, assuming, making assumptions. So they look at the woman, and cause you got a king or a pharaoh, but he came forth from a woman, so the woman got to be greater than him. But Adam descendants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all them understood because they dealing with these angels. They told them what the reason was why he made the woman, and why that she was, he made her help me to bring forth the seed that the man that he placed in the man, she helped him bring forth seed. So when by them doing that, they seen that when they came out scriptures and how Most High had it worked out, they assumed that Adam had a Adam had a Adam had he only listed the male lineages in the scriptures in Genesis. The first 10 people and all through the scriptures he lists the males. So they looking at that and they didn't understand that. So when they got hold of our scriptures, they placing people there to try to rectify the fact that how Cain was able to reproduce and how Abel was able to reproduce. But when you go back and look at the scriptures, it's a 6-day man there. Let's read it. We'll correct that. So it says, so that's like I said, these are examples of they got away with it up until this point, but now the Most High got people he done raised up to write and divide scriptures because we got to leave you, and we got to leave you with the truth. So I'm in chapter 1, verse 26, when it says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, fowls of the air, over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So he created, see that? Created man in his image. In the image God created he him, male and female. See that? A male and a female created he them. This is on the 6th day. So he said, and God blessed them. And God said, let them be fruitful, have sex, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing. So you got rabbis and local pastors and clergy, everybody fumbling with this. So we plainly see he just said that he made a man and a woman in Genesis 1:26. Now let's look at the wording. So I'm in chapter 2. It's on the 7th day. Thus we know what the 7th day is. It's Sabbath. This is where we get the Sabbath from what happened right here in the beginning. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the 7th day God rested. On the 7th day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made. Right? So he rested. 1 through 7. 6 days he worked, 7 days he rested. Now this after the 7th day. We see over here on the 6th day he made a man and a woman. 3. God blessed the 7th day, sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all the work which he had created and made. Then 4. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Then 5. Every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God, look at the wording, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. See that? Over here, he created a man, and it says, and 26, 1 and 26, God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. See that? Over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, over the cattle, and all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Not nobody till it to mess with the ground. Two different meanings. They fumbling with that. So he says, so for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth. So because he had made it rain upon the earth, he don't need he don't need a man to till the ground. But once he make it start raining, we know that it's something in the rain because of evaporation and condensation. Once the rain hits the earth and the earth start doing what it do, now you need a man to till the ground. So we know this ain't the same man. Then he says, and there was not a man to till the ground because it ain't rained yet. So 6, but there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground, and the Lord God formed the man. See that? This the man he formed. Ain't no woman with him. This man over here have a woman. That's why later on he had to make put this man to sleep and bring Eve from him. So when you understand that, now he sent Cain away. Cain killed Abel. Now let's look at it. So Cain killed Abel. It says, verse 10, chapter 4. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried from thee. No, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew his wife Eve. She conceived and bore Cain. And Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And again she bore his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also, I just mentioned this, and he also brought the firstling of his flocks and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and unto his offering. See that? You got respect. So I mentioned earlier, he continuously asking us all through the scriptures, am I not righteous? So I'm gonna ask you that right now. Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel. See that? He had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and unto his offering, he had no respect. So is that righteous? Or is that not righteous? Something got to be going on because he's righteous. So why would he just out the blue not want to deal with Cain?
Right.
See that? So let's keep going. So he said, but unto Cain and unto his offerings, he said he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance failed. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thy countenance wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, and thou be accepted, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Then 8. This is why he did not allow him to do it. Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. You gotta think about that, where it's coming from. So, and then the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. I'm my brother's keeper. Now we're gonna read the curse. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto thee from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth. Which, see that? We just talked about the melanin. So he took it back. That's the gift he gave us.
Right.
And the Lord God, that's what makes the Israelite woman above all other women. It says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. And behold, thou shalt be driven out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. Shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And then 15, and the Lord said, not the rabbi or the local pastor, the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slept Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest anyone finding him shall kill him. I'll read it again. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest anyone find of him. See that? So they in the garden. So what are you talking about? He's finna send him out of the garden. So wherever he send him out, he's gonna be a wanderer. Wherever you find him at, and anybody that slay him, So 16, and Cain went out, see that, from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. See that? So he went away from the Lord. He ain't dealing with these angels. He ain't dealing with heaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
but the thing you got to look at is he left from land. He left from the Garden of Eden, and he went to the land of Nod, east of Eden. Well, that's what a 6-day man is. And then look what it say. And Cain knew his wife. He got his wife from over there. So they killed. That's how you know these folks that hoodwinked it over in the other book.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He ain't got no wife. He ain't got no sisters. They because they didn't understand that they inserting what they want to put in there, assuming, just like they assume the woman got to be greater than the man because she gave birth to him. They don't understand because they ain't dealing with these angels. These angels and told him he put the woman, he put the man to sleep, and he had a seed in him. He had a seed, but he gonna look crazy walking around with a baby in his stomach. So he created a woman because he got the seed. So it's that's over their head. They can't comprehend that. They just looking at like this whole system that we're dealing with today with the sun and sun worship. Sun worship ain't never went away. Why? Because these people, when they was out of the presence of the Most High, and they saw every morning when they got up, the sun came up. They saw when the sun went down, it got dark. They saw the sun brought heat. So they start worshiping the sun because they don't have no understanding on why the sun there. It's like they don't have no understanding on why the woman is there. So they came in, and so now that Israel was as a nation was cut off by Antioch Epiphanes, they came in with a understanding and floated in with the Most High scriptures. And that's why Daniel said when he was in Babylon, a confusion of faith belonged to us. Confusion of faith belongeth to us because we've been scattered amongst these Gentiles, and we didn't sin against them. So we automatically have confusion of faith. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, and then on another part of that is it's a process. I talked about it a couple of times, but I'll go into it on the Sabbath day a little more. But what you understand is like with Sarah, we know that Sarah was Abraham's sister, but it's an order to it. Like when you go back and start reading the lineages and the women that these men was marrying, you will see that it'll be the man brother sister. I mean it'd be the brother
daughter.
It'd be the brother's daughter that they married. It's a process, something going on with that. So
Right.
he wouldn't marry his direct sister, but he would marry his brother's sister, his cousin. That's what he would marry with Sarah. Then you go back and you look at Noah, who Noah married. Noah married Enoch's somebody out of Enoch's lineage, a woman out of Enoch's lineage. Yeah, so that's how. And then you keep on looking at that. Even look at what Jacob, when Abraham sent his maid servant to go get a daughter from Rebecca's house, from Rebecca's brother's house. Not the, you know what I'm saying? That's how they always done that. But a lot of people don't pay attention to it, but that's how they did it. But these clowns, because they didn't understand that, there's gotta be some women there somewhere. So they plugged in two women. One of them married Cain and the other married Abel. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, anybody got any comments on it or question? Okay. So I hope somebody got some understanding out of that. Anybody got any more questions or comments before we go into the lesson? And like I said before, people going, it's so much stuff that, it's hammer time. And so the Most High said in the very last days, which is where we at, the truth gonna start coming out. And a lot of people don't even understand that. So when the truth start coming out, they get all uneasy, but it was just broken down. We see beyond the shadow of a doubt. It ain't the man on Genesis 1:26 ain't the same man. Because he just told you he rested on the seventh day. Then after that, it hadn't rained.
Right.
It hadn't rained upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. You can't get it. You can't keep on trying to make that man over there work. Because he just told you it hadn't rained. The first 7 days, it hadn't rained.
Right.
So after the 7 days, it hadn't rained upon the earth, and he needed a man to till the ground. It just so happened this man don't have no woman with him. Then he saw that he needed a woman. He needed to help me. He put him to sleep, and then he made a woman, took a woman from his rib. That ain't the same man and woman in Genesis 1:26.
Right.
So let's look at that. We're gonna go in on that for one more golden nugget. So I told you, these angels, you got 7 angels he created in the beginning. He formed them. They dealing with Adam. That they all participated in the making of Adam. If you go to those apocryphal books, you'll find out that he's those 7 angels was there. One went and got water, one went and got this, one went and got stuff, and he brought it all back there. Then he formed Adam. So they all participated in that. Well, they the ones watching Adam and his descendants all the way to the day. Those other angels that he created, just like he created a man and a woman on the earth, he created angels. He formed 7, but he created the rest of them. Those are the watchers. Guess what? They watching the created man. Those 7 angels that was formed watching the formed man. So just like Satan came down, they came down to the people they was watching in Genesis chapter 6. And did the same thing he did in the garden. Can't get around that. You can fumble with it, but you can't get around it. Especially after it's been broken down. Okay. So enough of that. We're gonna go into this lesson, to the video and see what, then like I said, I'll play some, then we'll break it down and play some more. So everybody good?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm good.
Here we go.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
And welcome. I welcome you both, beautiful Hebrew Israelite women. Recently you had a seminar that was being taken here in the city of London. And again, I'd just like to welcome you both. And you are? Natalie Lewin.
Charmaine Williams-Clark.
Charmaine Williams-Clark. Okay.
If I could just clarify as well, you introduced us as Hebrew Israelites?
That's correct.
Right. We are not Hebrew Israelites. We are Israelites. Simply Israelites.
I see. Judging from the tone that I just received, I take it that it's something that you're very strong against being called Hebrew Israelites.
I wouldn't say against. I'd just say that's not who we are. We are Israelites, and that's the God-given name that was given to us. It's written in the Bible. When my forefather Jacob, he was surnamed Israel, and that was the name given. So we are Israelites. I guess, you don't need an adjective to describe a noun, and the word Hebrew is not an adjective. So, it's almost like if you open the floodgates and, the next moment we'll be having people calling themselves Christian Israelites or Catholic Israelites. We're simply Israelites, and that's just the name that we are.
Okay, so how does the...
Okay, so what you think about that? Did anybody hear that, what she said?
Yes, I heard that. That's something.
Let that primate.
Yeah.
Right. And so like he said, it's Jacob, the Israelites. So adjective, Hebrew is the adjective because of the Israelites. The 12 boys came from Jacob. Jacob's name is Israel, so they're Israelites. That's something to think about. Notice how she heard him and corrected him too.
Yes, she did.
Or your group, how do you view women and spirituality? Like, what's your take on that?
Oh, women are very spiritual. That's why we've got that topic. We play a prominent role in our nation. Okay, we're bearers of children. Okay, we've been judges. Even in the scriptures, it talks about women judges. So when we think about women and what they do, it's not just for one purpose or for one role. We cover all areas.
And this seminar was open to all women from different walks in life, maybe with different beliefs, maybe different spiritual backgrounds. It wasn't just for women from the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. The purpose was that we wanted to hear women's voices, no matter what your spirituality, no matter what your religion, what your belief, your lifestyle, your culture. It was about being a woman living in today's society and what it means to be a spiritual woman and potentially exploring that word spiritual and what it means to women. So that was what it was about.
Okay. So can you explain what is a spiritual woman? Because is there such a thing as a woman who's not spiritual?
So I would say no. I suppose every woman from every background has some kind of spirituality. It's knowing what that is and tapping into it and using it.
I think there'll be some women that would not acknowledge any spiritual significance in their life. They wouldn't see themselves as spiritual women. But if we have the understanding that in mankind everybody has a spirit, then you will realize that, you know, there is spirituality in all of us, whether you acknowledge it or you do not acknowledge it. We acknowledge ourselves as spiritual women because we understand that spirituality, but not everybody would have that understanding or even that knowledge.
Okay, so now, as we all know, because I've read the Bible somewhat myself, and I've noticed that it's quite obvious that men are spiritually stronger than women, because you don't read any. I mean, in terms of the stories that we read, you see a more prominent role being played to men, and it's almost as if women are non-existent. And I do agree with the scripture where it says that women should keep silent in the church. And I think most people today would actually agree with that view in terms of how it should be. Do you not agree?
You know, there is a role for men and there's a role for women, but certainly we as women do not sit in the background and keep our mouths closed.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I know what scripture that you're referring to, but
New
it
Testament.
wasn't directed to the children of Israel, and it was also a different environment where Paul was given a duty to teach all nations who didn't necessarily understand some things, some spiritual things, and the influence of some of the women there in that situation was not constructive, was not positive, and so for that reason they were asked to keep silent in the church. It's not a general statement that women should always keep silence in the church, and I think that's what some people misunderstand.
I see.
So we have a voice.
So it isn't a general statement, is what
it's not a general statement
I
at
see.
all.
Okay.
No,
Okay. Any comments?
They're referring to the New Testament, and talking about the church and the praying women of the church.
So based on what you know, what they're telling you though, based on what you know, your understanding.
They're not. My understanding of that is they're not serving the same Lord that we are serving. They are. You know, she has the understanding of Jacob, you know, being changed to Israel, but she doesn't understand that their spirituality is different from the Israelite women in the Old Testament. We don't, you know, worship idols. We, you know, the Lord of hosts, Michael. I don't know. I don't know how they can just be so deep into that, and she could be so strong about the Israelite being called a Hebrew Israelite, but she's still
Shalom.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Go
I
ahead.
think they don't understand the order.
Right.
Yeah, she's off. Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, though, like I was saying before, what people don't understand about it, look at the drama. So we got people over here that's in Prophets of Awakening. You know, JC is the joke. But look at the people
Yes.
that you're dealing with because of the New Testament. See that? That's where the confusion coming in at. So because of the New Testament, that's why we got this division that's going on at a very crucial time in our history, and we getting ready to be regathered. Same thing right here, because of what Paul wrote.
Right.
Because of what Paul wrote, where the confusion coming in there. So, like I was saying before, what Daniel said when he was in Babylon, he was outside of his land. They'd been scattered out, and Daniel said, "Under us." Let me read it.
Big confusion of faith.
Right, and they're not understanding it. So it ain't nothing to get uptight about, but to understand where it's coming from. You putting a gold on these words that Paul said when it's garbage.
Right, when it's trash, you can't tie that New Testament to
Right,
the Old. You can't.
The confusion of faith coming in there.
Yes.
So let me get there right quick. So Daniel prayed, and he says, in the first year of Darius, son of Ahaz, the seed of the Medes and Persians, which made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years, wherefore the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah the prophet, and he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. And I set my face, he's setting his face toward the Lord because the 70 years almost up. It's like 69 years. It's one, you see things happening, same place where we at right now. We see that what he told Abraham is manifesting itself. 4, and I prayed unto the Lord my God, and I made my confessions, and I said unto the Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping covenant and mercy to them that love him and to them that keep his commandments. We have sinned, we have committed iniquity, we have done wickedly, we have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts. See that? Departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants, the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings and our princes and our fathers and to all the people of Israel. You don't say nothing about no apostles. So 7, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee. Because he ain't seen it. You keep on asking him, am I not righteous? It belongs to thee. But unto us, confusion of face, as it is this day, to the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are far, that are near, and that are far off, through all the countries where thou hast driven them, because they're trespass, that they have trespassed against us. So, like I said, because of that, when he cast us out, they confused in Babylon for the 70 years they were there. We've been over here 2,000 years. And so he brought the Gentile, which is the third and the fourth beast, the Gentile. They both come out of Japhet lineage. They hoodwinked our scriptures. They didn't attach this book to our holy scriptures. That's where the confusion of faith coming in at. So yeah. Any comments? You know, some people can't handle that, but you know, like I say, you gotta get you a donut and some milk and go into the scriptures and dig into the scriptures, or get hooked up with the right people.
Right.
Okay.
Our men respect us as women, they respect us as people, and we have a voice, and you know, we have great men that understand ours and we understand them.
Okay, now you mentioned that men have a role and women have a role.
Oh yes. Oh, yes.
In a home,
yes.
What would those roles be?
It will be dependent upon that household and that couple. What makes your household work? Okay. In some households, you have a woman who's a breadwinner, and she needs to go out and earn the money and bring the money in, because she's taken a different career course to her husband, and maybe the husband may be the one who works part-time, or maybe entrepreneur trying to build a business, and he may take more responsibility of looking after the children, just because that is their personal circumstance. Okay. You may have a household where you have both couples at work, both provide, you know, balance between the children and the responsibilities in the home. So it depends on each individual circumstance, and they define the role.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Not to say that with regards to the household, the man is the head of the home.
Yeah.
And we as Israelites understand that.
Yes.
And we respect our man as the head of the home, regardless of if we may have a higher wage packet.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We understand our roles within our home.
We're not going to talk down to our husbands. You know, he is a man and he has a voice, and you know, we sit down and we make decisions together.
Oh, it's equal.
Yeah, and where we disagree, there might be a time where, you know, the male needs to step in and say, well, no, actually, this is how we're doing it. Okay. And that's okay.
All right, now this is quite interesting to me, because of the fact that, you know, normally that I'm used to hearing, that a woman's role is more of a submissive one within the home and the family. Is that true in your organization as well?
Like submissive.
In terms of, well, when a man comes home, man expects to have, dinner.
Is that what happens at home, at your home? Well, do you have your dinner at home when you go home? Wait, is that your expectation?
In certain circumstances, yes.
Is that how, and does that work for you? Is your wife happy? Does it work? Because if it works, then it's good for you.
Okay.
You know, but each of their own when it comes to that.
Okay. Now, and as well too, traditionally, we're you tend to see or view women in that light, and that's what we've been raised to believe.
I'm not sure we now. I think society is changing. I don't think, all men see women in this light anymore. I mean, you've got women, Margaret Thatcher, she's just passed away. She was a great woman. She led this country.
But in terms of
the First Lady,
of religion now, religion generally, I mean, when you look at it, you have the Prophet Muhammad, you have all of these prophets of the scriptures, you have the Buddha, who is male. Like, you generally don't see women in those prominent roles. Like, what's your take on that? I mean,
we have to look at it from is that, as we said, the man plays a prominent figure in these areas. Okay? Women always plays a supportive role. We don't need to be the head of or be that prominence in order to do our jobs. As long as we're there in the background, which most of the time we are as women, but we're there to support. There's a saying that behind every strong man is a strong woman, and we hold on to that because.
I'll give you an example. Natalie is a spouse.
Okay. Any comments? I'm gonna play a little more and then we'll. Anybody got a comment? What they heard?
Again, we are not the women of the New Testament.
Right.
We are not.
Right. They're not right dividing it. Yeah. Exactly. Notice they from Britain too. They got British accents.
Yes.
Play a little more.
So she is a priest's wife. So the other priest in our congregation, he's a priest and he runs it. Okay. She is his wife. So he has his role to do in the congregation in running the nation. And because of his role, he may be busy. She, at that time when he's taking care of the nation, she will more so have to take care of those children because he's working. However, Natalie is a woman who's a probation officer. She works hard. She brings money in the home. It works for them. He works as an entrepreneur. He brings money in. Okay, it works for them. She has a supportive role. She is like a first lady in the organization. My situation is slightly.
So let's look at that because of one of the things about Prophets of Awakening is we know who our Redeemer is. We know that in Isaiah 44 1 through Isaiah 44 verse 6, it tells you who the Redeemer is, and that's long before New Testament came about. We had the Redeemer. Let me read that. It says Isaiah 44 verse 6. So it says verse 6, 44 and 6. Thus says the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. So we see right here who the Redeemer is, the Lord of hosts. I am the first and I am the last. Besides me, there's no God. Now you got Israelites and Christians and pastors gonna fumble with that. But it says, thus says the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer. There's a conjunction there. So we see right here, long before we even get to the New Testament, we got a Redeemer. So why am I saying this? So our Redeemer gave us up. So let's look at another verse. Like I say, on this line, and on the other days, but on this day also, on Thursday nights with women's line, we line upon line, precept upon precept. Ain't no emotions in it. Right by the scripture. So I'm in Judges. We see right there is the Redeemer. Lord of hosts is the Redeemer. In Judges chapter 2. So, this might be foreign to some people who ain't never heard this. But so chapter 2 of Judges said, and the angel of the Lord came up from Gilead to Beckham and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt. See that? Not Jesus, not Yahweh, not the Most High, but the angel of the Lord came up from Gilead to Beckham and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt. I have brought you into the land which I swore unto your fathers. And I said, I swore. The angel swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not Jesus, not Most High. I brought you up unto the land which I had sworn to your fathers, and I said, I will not break my covenant with you. So this is who made the covenant with Israel. This is the Redeemer right here. We see that right there. So why am I saying this? Well, when he said the vineyards and the corn and the wine and all the stuff in Israel, he says he comes in the form of rain. He comes the form of rain. So what are you talking about? He comes, causes the rain upon the crops that they plant, the seeds. The form of rain comes, causes the rain upon them, and then once they grow up, then he comes with the latter rain, the rain upon them for them to ripen. So the woman ain't need to work. So what you see and what you listen to is because he done gave us up. This is what Sister read earlier, Michelle read earlier in the curses. We was taken out, ran out of Israel, and then we ended up on the west coast of Africa, and they came with ships and scattered us over the whole world. They brought Judah over here to America. And so now he ain't there. That's why he's telling us in the latter days, seek him in the latter days, and you're going to find him in the latter days. So because he ain't there, these issues that came up. The woman out working, baby children being put in daycare and all that, because the Redeemer ain't there. He the one he provided and made all that.
Right.
So because he ain't there, this the missing link in the so-called awakened Hebrew Israelite. They don't understand who the Redeemer is and what his role was. So because he ain't there, that's where we all over the place. Because he not providing. See that? So let's read one more place with the understanding I just gave. So I'm in Isaiah. Right? So they ain't had to work. Cause you got, like I said, he on the cattle on 1,000 hills. We ain't had to work. So let's look at it. Two places I gotta go. I'm in chapter 3, daughters of Zion. And so he bringing the judgment on the daughters of Zion. So it says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with a stretched out forked necks and root-chained eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making tingling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite thee with a scab, the crown of thy head, and the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover thy secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tingling ornaments about their feet and their coils and their round tires like the moon, their chains, their bracelets, and their mufflers, and the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, and the rings, and the nose jewels, and the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stench, and instead of a girdle, rent, and instead of a well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. See that? So he was the one providing. He was providing for the men, and because he provided for the men, they was able to get all this stuff I just listed.
Yes.
So he the missing link. It ain't got nothing to do with JC.
Yes.
He the missing link. Our Redeemer then gave us up. So let's look at the 25. Thy men, see that? The men belong to them. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war, and her gates shall laminate and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. See that?
Yes.
That's the missing element. Our
We
Redeemer missing.
had it made
Yes, we did.
and
So let's
messed
look at
up big time.
right. So that's what a confusion of faith is. But it's all good because he coming back. He coming back.
Coming back.
Right. So let's look at that right quick.
Hold on, sisters.
You got people that's listening and probably saying, well, who the hell the Lord of hosts is? Well, let's look at it. We're gonna see who he is. And like I said, you can fumble with it, whatever you want to do with it. So here we go. I'm in Daniel. It says chapter 12. So at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even at that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So this is Daniel. Ain't no New Testament. So he ain't talking, it ain't included.
Yes. Ain't no
So
JC.
ain't no
Yes.
JC, it ain't included. He said
Yes.
everything that be written in the book, but notice he in the same verse, he mentioned Michael.
Yes.
He got every opportunity to mention JC right there if he was a redeemer.
Mm.
So we see right here, like I said before, they got hotel records and they attached this other testament to the Holy Scripture. But we had a redeemer whole time.
Right.
And so that's where the lamb are coming in. That's where the confusion of faith coming in, which is understandable. It ain't nothing to get uptight about because he just told you, Redeemer coming back.
Yes, he is.
He told Abraham, I'm gonna judge that nation that, the ones that brought you over here to this foreign land and did all the atrocities to you, I'm gonna judge them.
Yes.
So that's where we at, So that was the name of that video. If you want to go watch it, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on with it. It's like pictures are 1,000 words. So they, just you can watch the video. They don't even have no head coverings on. They got the Star of David on the wall. So it's Israelite Nation, Women and Spirituality Interview 2013. That's the name of the video. You want to watch it. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna see if anybody got anything they want to bring up or whatever before we close out. Any comments? They want to make any comments before we leave? Okay, yeah. I think this was a good class. Everybody participated, and yeah. So I think it was pretty good. And like I said, I want to remind everybody that on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time is every Thursday night we coming together, Israelite women coming together to discuss the roles and responsibilities of the Israelites, because at that time the Israelite culture, and we were rightly dividing the scriptures line upon line without any emotions, and we let the dots fall where they may, right? That we can reclaim our heritage. We seeking the truth, and that's it. No side talking, no strong arming. We connecting dots and building a strong Israelite foundation. That's it. No, it ain't nothing else. Ain't no hidden agenda. Nobody trying to be strong arming. None of that. We just rightly dividing the scriptures, and then we taking it from there.
Come on now, praise.
So if you want to be a part of that, arms is wide open.
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, I want to say shalom to everybody, and you see this video, pass it around so we can get people to come in, get the right understanding, proper knowledge. Okay.
Yes. Enjoyed you, sisters and brother. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like that song?
Yes. Enjoyed it.
Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Okay. Shalom.